production.
What's up? Yo, coming of age podcast. Right
Yo,
here.
welcome to the first episode of
coming of age
podcast. I am your humble host, Azam.
You're not humble at all. But
And I am here with introduce yourself, Frankie. The other host.
you got Frankness over here. What up? What up? Gonna try to sound cool. No, it's Frankness. What's happening, people?
And yo, man, we wanted to do something that we probably want to do this for a while. I think individually and solo wise, and we just now put our heads together. I think now, right, Frankie?
We just made the drive. Locked
Frank
ourselves in
made
the
the drive,
room,
yeah.
and I made the drive. And
But I
locked
have
ourselves in
supplied the
room.
equipment.
I wanted to buy my booster juice, but he didn't want the 99-cent deal is up. So man said no.
Yeah, they're so cheap, man. They should have run that thing all weekend. I had to run the thing on a Thursday, dog. They know what they're doing, man. Who goes to get booster juice on a Thursday, bro?
You know what? They
So
probably
gym
just ended the
people.
deal in Vaughn because you guys are all rich. That's why. That's exactly why.
I don't know what to say. I don't have a comeback for that. Yo, but yeah, man. Yo, this is pretty much it was an idea of mine many moons ago to do a
Yes.
podcast called "The Coming of Age," where it's just you kind of just talk about worldly observations, thoughts,
What we see,
opinions,
what we think. Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff. I myself am married. I got 2 kids. My boy is 7. My girl is 4. My wife's age will be hidden. And yeah, it's just like it's everyday stuff, man. Everyday stuff that's in my mind, in Frank's mind also, that we just want to get off, man. And hopefully
We're
it'll be
both
like,
people watchers, right?
big time, yeah.
So when I see the daily transactions, interactions, just stuff that happens, smart stuff, stupid stuff, just want to talk about it. I'm always talking to myself in my head, so why not put it down for record?
Yeah, and I always think Frank is way younger than me, but he's not that much younger than me.
I look nice, though.
Well, take it easy there. Take it easy there, Chief.
I'm 32. 32 is nothing, man. I'm
Yeah,
still
but I'm
very
30.
young.
Yeah, but I'm 37. No, I'm going to be 37, dude.
The fact of the
I'm
matter that
5.
you had to think about your age.
5 is big, dude. 5 is big.
What, 35?
If I was born in 85 and you're born in 90, that'd be a wait.
I'm not no 90s baby.
Yeah, but you fall in the late 80s. You don't have sense until the 90s.
Don't disrespect me like that on the first
Like,
episode, dog.
I had sense by
Wow.
86, 87.
Wow.
Hulk Hogan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson, Dominique Wilkins. These guys raised me, man. Lawrence Taylor. Whoo, forget about it.
Dude,
Who's
I'm not going to say none. I don't want to get mad on this first
Like you came
episode.
up on Tim Hardaway.
I just want to take it easy. I just want to be chill.
like Alonzo
This
Alonzo
man's-
Mourning and stuff.
Straight good disrespecting me in my face in his own home.
Like I came up with Alonzo Mourning. You came
And he
no,
keeps
sorry, I mean,
going. Why does he
you-
keep going? As if like you're not getting the cue. I have to start doing hand signals like cut it.
Okay, so anyway, you guys get the drift, man, of what we're all about, and where are we headed with this, Frankie? Like, what do you want to talk about, man? First,
There's so much to talk about. We can talk about women. We can talk about women. We can talk about women. I'm just joking. No,
We
you
call
know
it
what?
the Woman Podcast.
The woman podcast, coming of woman, I guess, right? Coming,
Whoa,
get it? Pun.
take it easy. Oh, I had my sound machine. That's what I did.
I'm the sound machine.
All
Don't
right.
worry about it. No, you know what? It's we can keep it clean and simple today. And I've been thinking a lot about just my own personal ambitions lately, like a lot. And not just the normal, when I grow up. No, like making heavy moves and change my entire lifestyle to
right.
literally circulate
Yeah.
success. So if you want, we can talk a little bit on that, touch base.
Go. What do you want to? Like, where are you
just
going with
go.
that? Like, you talking about generationally, like ambitions? You talking about like?
I think that in this age, this era, it's all about being the self-made man, right? Like literally building it from the ground up. Rick Ross said it best. I built a ground up. You bought and renovated. You know what I mean? And I think that can translate into no one wants to just work for someone anymore. Just go to work every single day. Like,
you know what though? I find that's too much, dude. Not
what's
everybody's
too much?
Built that way, man. And you can't fault people for not doing that.
No. Sorry, I'm not faulting people for that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's definitely. It took a while for me to realize it's not for me whatsoever. It's not at all. Right? I used to be working for someone. Right? I used to think I wanted to be that go-getter, that climb the corporate ladder, be the shining boy.
At a company for like 25 years.
Yeah, but no, I don't. Not whatsoever. Like, not at all. Like, I'm mentally done with it. You know what I mean? So, I've been thinking about just the next moves and branching out and finally making a name for frankness. You know what I mean? Not for the companies I'm working for.
You find that your peers feel the same way, or do you feel like are you kind of on an island by yourself with it a bit?
More and more, I'm finding my peers feel the same way. Not all of them,
but not in a collaborative way, like where you all are kind of like, hey, let's get together, let's do something, start something. It's kind of like
no, you know what? I mean, man, we can talk about this for so long, but realistically, a lot of people might say they want to do something, but
different
when you go to call them and say, hey, let's meet up and do something, all of a sudden,
different thing.
They're not about it, right? So yeah, there are the people who say, oh, we should do this, we should do that. But at the same time, there's the real people who are like, hey man, what are you doing? And it's like, this is what I'm doing. And it's not necessarily you want to collaborate.
No, it's like steel sharpens steel, right?
Yeah, you want to be an accountability partner, right? You just want to talk to each other and update each other.
That is something there. What'd you say there?
Accountability partner. It's huge. It's probably one of the most underestimated motivations that we have for free today. Everybody always tries to take a class. People try to, go to the gym on your own. You usually fail after 3 weeks. Right. Or you try to eat healthy. You stop once you see the first Timmy's.
Right.
But if you have someone who you're talking to and who's on the same path of just reaching their own goal,
right,
then, when they come to you and say, hey, what did you eat yesterday?
Yeah, a lot of us need... you're
going to feel like shit. You tell them it's a donut.
Yeah, a lot of us need a reason outside of yourself to do something. To push past that roadblock, right?
Absolutely,
yeah.
Right.
Like my kid, for me, like I just recently started to really go to the gym and take it more serious. Like instead of like, when you're young, man, you just go lift the heaviest weights and shit. Mm-hmm. You go try to do the most push-ups. You try to do things. You do things in such these like sporadic states,
intervals.
Like and like you go through this like 1 week span where you want to lift the house up, you know, and then you go 4 weeks without doing anything and eating Whoppers and eating Big Macs and whatever, and then you kind of jump right back in it because you're kind of trying to it's like you're trying to like kind of again just still like not totally fall apart,
Again, I feel accountability is the number one, and when people feel that, put it this way, today's a visual world with regard to Instagram followers, Facebook followers, Snapchat, Twitter, how many retweets you get. So when you have people who are, like, if they follow up with you, say, hey, oh, did you do what you said you were going to do last week? And you say no, you're going to feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's like even right now, like I met a few friendly people on IG. Mm-hmm. Like fitness wise.
Yeah.
And I do feel like even me personally, like I don't really even need music at the gym. I'm a self motivator. I don't really think, but you are right, man. I don't know if it's an age thing or whatever it is, but I feel like I am accountable to a couple of people who are great people. I've never really met them, but I almost feel accountable because it's almost like we're sharing in the same same fight. If that makes sense,
No, it makes total sense.
Yeah,
it's a psychological thing, right? Because if you're posting every day saying gym time or get that grind, eating healthy, whatever, which I saw you're eating healthy.
Yeah.
If I'm following
you, didn't believe me too. Just yesterday,
God, I still Google picture that. But anybody can Google healthy food. But if someone's following your account and they're like, "Oh yeah, Daily Azam, he's doing it," then all of a sudden they see you not do it for 3 days. what do you think that's going to do to them, right?
Right.
So it's
Like,
all
yo,
routine. It's all routine.
Yeah.
But no, it's time to make some moves, man. Like, you made some moves. Talk about your moves.
Which kind of moves?
You did some good investments. You're
I don't know. You know what? You know what?
Mm.
What? It's not so much like investments, man. It's like I always felt like I would make it. Like I always felt like I could do it myself.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I married someone who thought the same way, and by the graces of maybe someone up above who's had our back more often than not, we've been able to somehow manage through this thing, where generationally, like a lot of my friends, a lot of our peers, are not able to make a lot of those certain similar moves.
Yep.
And we got lucky a lot of times, but I think a lot of it, again, it was like I just always, what really did it for me when I got my first job. My first real job was working for my uncle, and I love my uncle, and so if they ever hear this, they're gonna know what I'm talking about. But they were opening another factory, and the factory was close to them. They're like a welding steel manufacturer place, and I was helping that guy set up the factory, whatever. And the bigger boss guys would come around and walk around, just to see how things were going. And it just so happened, like every time the guy who was my supervisor would give me a break, like put me on a break or have me take lunch, that's when these guys would come by.
Yeah.
And after about a week or so, they said something to my uncle. And then in the family, within, how families talk and how uncles and aunts talk, it became that I don't work. I don't do any work. I don't do anything, And probably they're looking at it like, yo, you can't fire this guy because he's nephew. Yeah. It's like blood nephew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it just would look bad. And when I caught wind of that, man, I went on a spree of like, in my mind, I was so, like for me, I wasn't like outwardly like a renegade, but my mind is freaking renegade-ish. So I'm always like, yo, bun that shit, man. I'm gonna go do this shit myself.
Yeah.
Or
that was your trigger.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a job. I can drive now. I'm gonna get a job. I ain't telling nobody I have this job. I'm not telling anybody where I go. I'm not telling everybody what I do. But then that also backfired when I was young, because my mom thought I sold drugs at one point.
Like she said you had money, but then
like I would be going to like Florida and booking 1 month trips to go to Florida to see my cousins. And then like my grandma would call me from here and say, hey, bye, your mommy going through your whole room, your whole closet. She going through your whole closet underneath your bed and everything. And I was like, for what? She goes, she search for something. She has something she search for. And she's calling me while I'm in Florida.
Yeah.
And when I come back, my mom denies everything, but then is like, where are you getting? Then we had a confrontation. And it was like, where are you getting this money from? And I was like, I had to say it.
Yeah,
right?
to spill the beans.
And but that, I mean, I don't want to ramble on, but that little piece of I guess renegade-ish stuff, or like wanting to do stuff myself, not having to need acceptance from someone else to say, oh, yo, look what he's doing. I didn't need that. I was good. My mental was so strong where I could do it myself, and I was cool with nobody ever knowing.
Good for you. Nice.
You know what I mean?
That's strong, actually.
Yeah.
Not many people can do that.
And I'm still that way.
Because that's complete isolation.
Yeah, I'm still very much that way. I was probably the most popular loner guy in the history of mankind.
True.
Because I was like captain of teams, athlete, person. But I also didn't travel in a pack, And I grew up in a rough neighborhood, but I wasn't part of a gang. You know what I mean? And
you just kept to yourself. You did your...
I had a lot of fun. Like, I had a ton of fun. And I had way more fun than anybody probably should have had. Man, listen, I was a late bloomer a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though I like had girlfriends in like elementary school, but late bloomer as far as like really knowing what the hell you're doing. But that 3 to 4 year run that I had is an epic run. Like, it is a good run.
To what degree?
What do you mean?
What
Well,
do
I
you
didn't
mean?
have any kids. I didn't have any kids. But come on, is that what you're trying to talk about?
You know what? All right, ladies and gentlemen. Enough said. When you ask someone, yo, what do you mean by that run? And their answer is, well, I didn't have any kids. You don't have to ask any more questions. You just let it go.
But you know what? More than that same you get about ambition and like what drives you. Like literally, I didn't need anyone to know that.
I feel like people have there's different kinds of drives, right? And a drive can be a trigger, or it can be a natural, inclination to do something. Your drive can be you wanting to rise to the occasion of what like peer pressure you have from, let's say, your parents, right? So everyone has a drive. It just comes in different forms, right? Or it might actually change over time. So like I said, for me, my drive was, I'm a competitive person, naturally very competitive. So if I go into a company, I want to beat this person. I want to outshine this person. I want to be the person who's known, right? I'll go to Tom, Dick, and Harry, the Cheryls, the Janices, the Sarahs of the world, and I'll chat it up, make sure they know my name, right? That's what I did for all my companies. The companies I worked with. And
would you say that's advice that you would pass on to
absolutely
somebody getting into that world? Like
absolutely.
World? Like
Absolutely.
Make sure you get to know everybody. Make sure you're the one that...
There's been a huge paradigm shift in today's workforce where it's not about what you can do or how fast you can do it. It's not about your degrees, because now you can get...
Yeah, sure.
A university degree is almost equivalent to a high school degree.
Yeah,
There's
sure.
a degree for everything.
Yeah, sure.
A lot of it's about who you know. A lot of the people who are up top being VPs and CEOs, whatever... They know, they golf at this golf club, or they do this, do that. And it's who you know, right? So it's always good to network. Networking is number one, not necessarily just for a personal benefit of growth and promotion, but years down the line, you'll never know if you need, financial services. I know someone who worked at our company in financial services and did taxes on the side.
Right.
So if I need my taxes done, I'll just say, hey, can you do it?
Back in my day, you call that a link. Like you had links.
It's still called a link today. Azam, you're only 4 years older. There is no back in my day with me, okay? It's not even half a decade difference. Stop that foolishness. But no, my actual trigger was when I got let go, right? I was let go from a company, and I prided myself in being, one of the top performers there, and being well known, and being like I sweat the company. And then I think when I did a huge dissection.
How long were you there?
4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's 4 years is actually long to today's standards for a company,
sure.
right?
That's why I say, oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. And I dissected it like crazy, because for the past year and a half, like I didn't feel the same. You know what I mean? And it's because I couldn't move forward because I was holding on to this past. I took it as a failure, right? I was like, oh, I failed at something, right? And when I really dug deep.
But nothing's wrong with that too, right?
Oh no, you got to fail.
Yeah,
you got to fail, right? Yeah. And I learned that through my growth and my meditation. But what I realized, the root cause of it is, I'm a very loyal person. I really respect loyalty with regards to not, you don't have to die for me, but if you say you're going to be there, at this time with me to do something,
yeah, sure,
be there at this time to do something.
Right.
If you say you're going to come through, or you're going to say you're my boy, my girl, be my boy or my girl, come through.
Yeah.
So
like you held it against me for not coming to your birthday party for years.
That was a joke. But I mean,
you still did.
You only live like 20 minutes away. You always use your kids as
I do not live 20 minutes away.
Vaughn, Ajax, if you drive your whip properly, that's a 25 minute drive.
I'm not gonna have excuses. It's fine.
Once a year. Anyways,
I think 3 of those years was Ramadan. So
man,
actually, you have to blame someone else.
It wasn't Ramadan. It was no Ramadan. All right, it doesn't just shift all of a sudden.
Anyway, let's go back. Yeah.
Wow, this guy just talked about my birthday. Yo, Summer of Frank, number 8 coming through.
Hey, and let's not forget a great point here. Let's get this on record because we're recording this.
Hit it.
I am the one.
Oh my gosh.
Who created soft?
Whoa, hang on.
I created softness.
Whoa, wait.
I started calling it soft.
Hang on.
Hard.
Let's
S-O-F.
hang on. Put that on the table for a second. I'm not gonna forget that. Okay, put that on the table for a second. Yeah, okay. Right?
Summer of Frank. Also, if you don't know any, you don't.
You know what? No, we're gonna take this off the table right now. Okay. First of all, let me tell you, Summer of Frank.
Let me get this off before you go in on me.
Okay. Right.
So, Summer of Frank, just so you know, is Frank does a yearly birthday bash.
I do.
And if you don't live in the Greater Toronto area and you're outside, and obviously Frank doesn't know you, you're not going to get invited. But it is one hell of a time, man. I've been twice. How much have there been? Seven. So no, six. And we've known each other probably 10 years. I've been twice. I would say 3 of those were Ramadan inside of there. And I think something came up. I might have had a kid or two, something in between there. Let's just go with that excuse. Anyway, go ahead. Yeah. But I came up with soft, man. SOF?
I would say.
I didn't say I made it somewhere.
The Frank. Man started.
It's not Marlon.
I said the man. Let me just put this into perspective. He's taking credit for the following.
And I called you
I called you Frankness first. No, that's not true, actually. Hang on, I'll tell you right now. I know the root of that. So, Azam, the man who's sitting across the table from me, is taking credit for the fact that he started nicknaming me Soft. I'm a nicknamer. He started calling me Soft. Like, yo, you're soft. Yeah. Like, I'm soft, man. So, first of all. And then...
That's true.
When my birthday came through...
It's all true.
My birthday came through, I decided to call my birthday Summer of Frank.
Yeah, he flipped it. He like
his soft did not stand for Summer of Frank. I took a negative in my life, and I made it my bitch. Is what I did.
You. I created the ambition.
So don't try to say that you made my birthday what it is.
No. I didn't say that. But I planted the seed.
Put your hands down. Not no cop. True chain infringement. True chain infringement. Put his hands up.
You know I don't bring any.
Anyway, so that's my birthday. So actually, you know what? I'm gonna use that example for my birthday. It's a big party, and if people tell me they're gonna come through, I expect them to come through. Why? I spend money for it. I don't ask for nothing. My mom labors for food. I buy the alcohol. I bring everybody. So for me, it's like that's the accountability or the liability. The loyalty is like, if you're my friend, I ask you to come out just once a year. Come through, eat, drink,
I'm
chill.
not looking him in the eye.
So when I got let go from that company after doing what I do is a very stressful job. I started as abandonment, right? It's like, yeah, you did all this stuff for us. You were a true trooper for us, and you're gone. And that was kind of like the trigger for me where I was just like, you know what? Why am I leaving my fate up to someone else's hand who may not understand the situation or who's not leveraging my true potential when I can go out and be the natural leader I've been literally all my life with cadets, with dance, with sports, with everything, and just do my own damn thing, right? Sorry, don't get this wrong. Yeah. I am not by any means the first person who thought of this. There are millions of people who do this, right? Better than me. So I just want to be a part of that.
But I think it's good that you share this that those who maybe need that little extra push know that there's a gold pod at the end of the rainbow as far as like hope, dreams, something you thought that was there is no longer there. I had a similar thing. I won't go too deep into it, but I was at a company for 5 years. About 3.5 years in, things changed. The company got sold to another company, and things changed. And I was on the chopping block pretty much at my 5-year peak for me. And again, I'm in the same boat as you.
Was that about the same time when you coined Summer of Frank for my birthday?
Soft?
That you so clean?
No. That already was happening. I already had missed probably 3 at that point. But yeah, I went through a similar thing where like I remember getting laid off, and it was the people around me because I'm very much I approach things in a similar fashion. Minus the competitive spirit, I would say. So I'm much more the hey, let's get together, let's figure this thing out kind of guy. I would probably say.
Yeah.
And to see the reactions of people. So just to give you an insight on the day that I got laid off, which I don't know if this ever happened to anyone else, but I was planning a lunch for someone else, and we were all getting together. And I remember when word got around that I did get laid off, it was like 10 o'clock in the morning. I didn't park too far. I wasn't like parked up or anything too far from work. I just kind of left the premises and kind of like, called my wife and the normal, like, let certain men know what's up. You know what I mean? And I was like,
yo, guys got let off. Party at my place. Summer Frank coming to you. Let's go. Let's go.
Yo, reach Frank's house.
Yeah, reach Frank's house. His mom's cooking.
Mom's cooking right now, yo. Yo, but I was like, yo, let's still reach for lunch. And these guys were floored by it. But I think a lot of what they were floored by was like my attitude towards it.
Yeah.
Where like there were three or four people crying when the lunch ended because it was so sudden for them. Yeah. But it's almost like you're looking at somebody tear up because of you, and what happened to you. But there's no way for you to transfer that energy back to them and say, hey, everything's cool, don't worry about it, because that's what everybody says. Yeah. Hey, no, I'm good, like, okay, I'll figure it out, blah blah. But I really was good, man. Yeah, I really was good, and I'd be lying to say it didn't affect. It wasn't. It was weird not to wake up and go to work. The next few days.
It's a habit, right?
Right.
You've been doing it for years.
Yeah, and like set my alarm still going off. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? And but for me, my kids have become the, I guess, extra motivator for me to do, and I think a lot of people say that, but I don't know if a lot of people do it, where their kids are the catalyst for their betterment, though, not just because they're doing something, but for their betterment. Yes, so that's where I'm different, like that. And I do wish sometimes, like when I was younger, I was a little bit more competitive. And I had that little more of a, like, as I look back now, even though as much of an ego as I had before, or I may probably still do, but I wish I did have. No comment. I wish I did have that extra maybe motivation to get an A plus, not just an A.
Why? What do you think you would have achieved possibly?
I think that's when I am a big believer in maximizing your potential.
Of course.
And I think as much as I believed it and I did it in certain arenas, I also didn't do it in certain arenas. I also didn't do it like...
Yeah, but it's difficult to...
I didn't do it consistently.
To maximize your effort in all stages.
But you know what I mean?
It takes a lot of energy.
It's something simple, like right now we have Casey read a book every day. I don't know if I had that, I don't know if that's my parents didn't do that kind of thing, but as much, again, like, I do wish I would have done that. Like, I would have picked up an extra book to read. I would have done my homework, not just begrudgingly. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. I would have done it for a purpose and had an end goal. So I actually not envy is too strong of a word, but admire.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, admire. So someone like yourself, I admire the fact that you became an engineer. That's an end goal. That's something where you have to start, go to school, go through the rigors of school, and there's an end goal. That there's an end to that. You know what I mean? Yep. There's not just an open. It's not just an open.
But here's the thing, though. Sure, you may have wished to have speak purely academics, just to keep this as focused as possible.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, you could have wished that you did focus more so on your grades, just for argument's sake.
Yeah, okay.
Get a straight A student.
Yeah.
Get into engineering.
Yeah.
Do you know that I actually regret getting into engineering? Right. I worked. I got the grades. I did all the crazy assignments and everything.
The way I'm looking at it is, like, at least for that pocket of time, you maximized your skill or intelligence or knowledge, however you want to word it.
But how do you know I wasn't supposed to do something else? I was always a creative person growing up, like art, dance, and everything.
But I just mean what the energy you put into it.
Okay, so you're talking purely,
just purely
energy put out. Okay.
Yeah, whether or not after that, because like my wife had a similar thing. Saida was studying for the LSAT. She's a year younger than me, and she skipped a grade. She came up to my grade
because she loved you so much. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
She's like, I want that exam right there.
I need to show him that I'm in his grade. So, so he can see me more. But she did that, and her ambition from like literally high school into university up until like maybe 4 or 5 months before she graduated university was to become a lawyer and get into law, and she stopped going to the LSAT prep classes. And it's like she had an epiphany, and she was like, I don't think I want to. I don't want to do this. Yeah,
it comes at different stages, right?
But still, the energy was put in. So I'm looking at it purely as like the energy, the effort, that ambition that was put in. She was able to do that and manifest all that herself.
That's good for
I
self-motivation.
mean? Yeah.
So actually, since we're talking about your wife there, so Galdem, yo, how was that for? I keep hearing Azam was.
Now we're getting into the juicy part.
So Azam, how about first you tell the people what was your email address growing up?
Okay, so we talked about this before we started this thing.
This should set the tone with how he was with the ladies. Just don't give him a. Just tell him exactly what it was.
The background. Okay, first
of all, no background. They don't need a background. Just tell them what was your email address.
It was Big Papa Pump. But the reason why we started talking about this is because I said to Frank.
No one cares, man. All they heard was Frank, Big Pump Pump.
I said to Frank, and you know when you ask so many questions, hoping they'll ask you the question, is pretty much what I did. I asked him, did he ever approach a woman or approach a girl
with an email
and say, "Yo, email me"? And I was asking him more so because I wanted him to ask me, because I was gonna be like, "Yeah, I used to do." To be like, "Yo,"
you know what my email was when I was my first email?
What?
BuddyLove_56 at Hotmail.
Buddy Love. Who's Buddy Love?
Nutty Professor, bro.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, man. Buddy Love. That was like my. It's still active, I think. Just probably has millions of.
I will go on record to say that it doesn't have the same ring as Big Papa Pump.
Nothing has the same ring as Big Papa Pump. Like you're literally anyways, I want to talk about that.
You know, that email address was still live, like for some odd reason, for like even just up to about 3 years ago. So you're talking like an email address that was alive for like 20 years.
I would log into mine, but I feel like I would just get virus right out of my asshole.
That's like one of those email addresses I gave to like if you had to sign up for something for free,
anything,
or like mans wanted to wanted to prank you on something,
or like you're walking down the street, a crackhead's like, "Yo, you got some change?" Like, "Nah, man, I got my email here. I'll e-transfer you."
Hold that email, yo. Yeah, and I was telling you, remember Black Planet? We were talking about Black Planet.
Yes.
And you didn't have Black Planet, you said. And why did you say you didn't have Black Planet? Because this is how this all started.
I'm not saying.
Go on. Why didn't you say? Why did you say you didn't have it?
Remember?
You said you didn't think you were cool enough or something.
What I really meant was I didn't think I was black enough. But, I mean...
I don't know what to say. You got to post a picture of Frank. If you don't think Frank is black enough.
Listen, growing up was different. Growing up was very different. Very different.
You mean likening yourself to the culture? Like a culture of... But
I don't even know what the culture is. I was always very against this culture, quote unquote, to be honest with you. But not against it, but I always ask what is. When I grew up. Okay, here's a little sob story. If you want to start a little piano E flat kind of chord. Growing up, a lot of times, actually, even to this day, people say, "Oh, you're not really black." And now I shrug it off.
They say it to your face or over the phone?
No, to my face.
I can see somebody saying it over the phone.
No,
if I heard your voice, I wouldn't immediately tag and say, "Yo, what part of
so then I got
from,
two things for you. One's going to be an actual deep story, and one's going to be like a funny story.
Go.
So, so I get that actually to this day, and now I'm just mature enough, and I'm practicing just being stoic, where I don't react. I'm just like, sure, I laugh it off. But in my mind, really, I'm like, if I really wanted to grill you, you couldn't even tell me what you really mean by that sentence.
Right. You mean if you dig deep enough.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, technically on the surface, I am blacker than you. Like a couple of tones. But because I don't speak patois, because my pants aren't hanging down.
Vinci
man,
boy.
Yeah. Like, what do you even mean, right?
Yeah.
So I used to argue it, and now I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, why am I wasting my time trying to educate a rock, right? So I let it go.
What's funny is I've gotten the opposite.
Really?
I've gotten especially when I was younger, that I remember family in Florida. I have a ton of family in Florida. Shout out to my family in Florida. So I remember leaving a living room where there was all aunties and grandmas in there, and I heard them say, "Oh, we know black people in our family."
Straight goods, eh?
Yeah, and if you know anything about Guyanese or those West Indian, there is a bit of a weird I don't know if it's still going on now. I don't know if it's a generational thing, but there was a divide as far as Indian West Indians and Black West Indians.
I think there still is.
And
there's still the question asking if Indian West Indians are black.
But you know what I mean? It's almost like I'm a hip hop head, beyond hip hop head, and dress wise, fashion wise, I identify with that branch of lifestyle. I guess
that's completely opposite, right?
Yeah.
Even you know what? Even I even got called out for not being. But this was I can't tell you who told me this, but
why can't you tell me?
Because
I know the person.
No, because I just don't need to air someone's out.
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
okay. What's their
They told me no. They told me
email address. Okay, old email address.
They told me
AOL name.
That yo, what's your MySpace? They told me I wasn't black because I don't have multiple girls. I was like, what? And they associated black guys as having,
A girl told you that.
Sorry?
A girl told you that.
No, it was a guy.
A guy told you that.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's the dumbest shit I ever heard, right? And I just completely lost respect for that person from that moment.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I'm
like why so?
Sorry?
Why so?
Why did I lose respect?
Yes.
Because if someone, I can understand if people have.
Was he joking or he was?
No. He's 100% serious.
Wow.
And I can understand if people have their own opinion, their own, stature or whatever. No problem. Think what you want. But when you say something like that, where how are you going to educate that person to make them believe that they are incorrect? They're just some ideas, where it's so left field, where it's just the amount of energy you got to put in to try to prove that person.
It makes no sense. You're killing yourself.
You're just all right, cool, no problem.
You're killing yourself trying to do that.
I was gonna say, one time at work, I was dealing with a vendor of ours, and I've talked to him for years, and then we finally had an open house, and we actually had to meet. He was coming to the open house, and it's funny because his first name is Max, my first name is Frank, and just naturally, you don't really associate a Max with a black person or Frank with, you know what I mean?
Not Maxwell.
So no, just straight Max.
Right.
So then we're at the thing and we're just chit chatting, and I was talking, going the rounds, networking, and then and I hear this guy. I was talking to this one group for probably easily 5 minutes, and this guy starts talking. I'm just like, Max. He's like, Frank. I'm like, and we're both black. And literally the first thing we said, we're like, I did not think you were a black guy. You sound 100% white on the phone.
Both said it to each other.
Straight to each other's face. And I was like, yeah, I guess
that's amazing.
I guess I could sound I don't sound. What does a black guy sound like? You know what I mean? I understand, but at the same time, I don't understand.
I think it really comes down to slang and how you talk. I don't think it's more
But this is a professional environment.
Yeah, but there's those times where you break, man. There's those times where I've been in boardrooms where when it's call time for lunch, where guys are leaning back. Oh man, I gotta go to college this weekend. Oh, effing wife and this and then effing you know.
Okay.
And But when the light comes on, mans are right back to their, tighten up the tie kind of thing,
Fair enough.
So I think within ourselves, and like I hate the word urban, but like within that the community of us, I guess. Does that make sense? Like there is a talk and a way to talk and a way that you kind of sound. You'd be like, "Yo, this guy's not black," or like, "Yo, this guy's black," or "This guy's a brown dude."
I guess so. I guess, but I mean,
and let's not even get into Toronto, man.
They can be an argument to it, like especially like if you think about it in the professional environment. Technically, let's just say, if you use a thought experiment, for argument's sakes, you don't have slang, right? You're talking professionally. You're talking, whatever. Let's just say, right?
Yes.
So if your slang is gone, technically your culture is stripped on the phone, right? If you know what I mean.
Yep. Go ahead.
How can someone tell unless okay, like your guy needs to have an accent, unless you have an accent, right? But I'm a black guy growing up in Canada. Right? I grew up in Durham region.
But I didn't grow up in Guyana.
Yeah, but your family, I didn't get that Vinci.
Me
and my sister didn't get the Vinci.
What's the word when like the crops kind of like they share the pollination-ish kind of thing? What's that thing?
I don't know,
like,
but I don't know what you're doing with your hands right now. But I didn't get that Vinci
like
gene.
I didn't get the Vinci gene. Sprinkle it,
right?
Yeah.
But again, okay, well, what about Jamaicans? They can turn their patois on and off, right?
Yes.
So again, if they're on the phone just talking non-patois, right?
Right. But I think a lot of people of that ilk can do that. Like my mom does it all the time. My dad does it like insane all the time.
My dad's been here for like 40 years and he still can't understand a damn word he says.
The only rawest person I know is my grandma, and it's because she didn't have to ever turn it off. Mm-hmm. She was never in a situation where she had to turn it off. Mm-hmm. So even to now, she'll say something.
Is it the same grandma who was snitching on her daughter that she was turning your room upside down?
Yes. On her daughter-in-law.
Oh, daughter-in-law. Okay.
And I think that might make a difference also. I'm not too sure. But
that's hilarious.
But like she'll say something. She'll still say something like, "Hey, go bring the blanket and Jerry and you're like, my inside will be like, what does she want me to do with the blanket?
The running joke with my dad. No one understands my dad. Even Vincies don't understand my dad. My dad,
the Bluetooth, man.
Like he talks. He talks so fast with the thickest Vincy accent, and he'll tell me something. Now I understand him, but more so because I pick about like every fourth word.
Yeah, you can pick it up.
And I put it together.
Right, you can figure
it out. And then I'm like, CSI Durham, and I'm like, all right, he said this. Cool.
Right.
But my other friends, shout out to my boy Alex Murray. One time we were just chit-chatting, and he came over to my dad, to my house. And we were just there. We were kids. My dad was looking at him. He said a joke. Started laughing. I was laughing.
Yeah.
Alex stood there with a straight face, just like,
what?
So then my dad leaves the room, and then sorry, my dad didn't laugh. Okay. He just said a joke, and then I smirked. But my dad, he was waiting for it, and he just leaves the room, he's like, all right, cool, whatever.
Right.
So I go to Alex. I'm like, yo, why didn't you laugh? My dad was trying to joke with you. He's like, I have no idea what the fuck your dad just said. No idea. And I'm like, yeah, I just died laughing, right? Like, no one understands him. We barely understand him. My dad doesn't understand himself.
He doesn't understand himself.
He's just talking. He's like, I'll figure it out.
Yeah, we got lost here a little bit. What was the top? You said Galdem or something.
Oh,
we just went out. You were talking about email address.
So I recently moved in with my girlfriend.
Oh, we're going
my love.
Right.
Yes, my lady.
My what?
My lady.
And what would you say before?
I'm not saying it again. My love. Yeah, my love. See, I ain't scared to be sappy. She's my girl, man. She's my number one. Because there's no number two. You see, you gotta make sure you say that.
Yeah, you
right?
gotta mess up right there.
Who is that sport athlete recently who's like, oh yeah, my wife, my girlfriend, or something?
Oh
like that?
yeah, the soccer guy. I think it's the soccer.
Yeah.
It's like, shout out to my wife. Shout out to my girlfriend.
Aired himself out. But Yeah, I moved in with my lady. It was time to make the move. We've been dating for 4 years. Actually, we're celebrating this weekend. And
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's just funny because moving in almost instantly, you get people saying, "So when are you gonna pop the question? When are you gonna do this?" You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
sure. But that's natural, man.
That's the thing. It's like what is natural, right? I just find it funny how today
it's human, man. It's
what
human.
I mean is human.
Frank,
What
it's
do you
human.
mean?
How are you gonna stop something that's been happening since the dawn of time?
How am I?
Marriage?
It's not. It hasn't been happening since the dawn of time.
It's been happening.
No, it hasn't.
Marriage has been.
What happens today is you can just chill out and live, and then like. You know what I mean? Anyways, listen.
Where is that?
Wait.
Which country does that happen?
Let me just bring this back. I have no problem with marriage. I just find it interesting how today everything is almost systematic, and the expectation has become an expectation. If you know what I mean.
See, I would go the opposite way. It almost feels like it's that whole idea of marriage and what a relationship is not the traditional at all. I feel like it's like the I think the pressure that you'll get is because man's always gonna be like, yo, so when are you gonna marry? When's the wedding? When's the wedding? But that's just a natural.
But that is literally what I'm saying. That's the pressure. It's not even. It's become like.
Yeah.
You know, how many of her friends and my friends, mostly female, right, but some guys, like almost every time I see them, so we're getting married. Oh, when's the date? Frank, what are you waiting for? It's like, what am I waiting for?
But see, here's what I'll say to you, because I have been in the same situation with other friends of mine who have gone through the same thing. I think sometimes that is just said in jest, but when it is said to you, being the subject of the comment, you take it as, yo, what's wrong with this guy? Yo, why my people keep asking me this, yo? But man, just be like, yo, so what's up? Yo, it's like, yo, so when's the wedding? Yo, when's the date? You set a date yet? You know, it's like a thing to say, but they're not. I mean, I would probably say.
I want to say this. I'm going to say this.
Sure. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with saying.
Does your parents say this? Do your parents ask you that?
I'm going to say this.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with the whole. Hey, so when you gonna pop the question, like, yo, she's a good girl or whatever, right?
Right.
No, because you're right. It's natural. You date, you move in, you're married, or you date, you marry, you move in, or you date, kid, shit, and then you get married, whatever it is, right? Yeah. I think the thing that I find interesting is the fact that a lot of people now. So I'll put it this way. Here you go. Prior to hitting the wave where all my friends were married with kids. Mm-hmm. So let's say when we were in university.
Yeah, I was in that wave.
You can date someone for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's just you're dating them for 4 or 5 years. Right. You're 25, 26, or 24, 23, whatever.
Yeah.
You just chill, right? I feel like it's almost like a club. So people who've gotten married, or have kids, let's say just gotten married, right?
Yes.
They want everyone to join their marriage club. They want they want you to go into the same level of agony. I'm just joking, not agony, but the same group. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like they always come in. Oh, so when are you gonna pop the? Like they're the ones who are serious. Like, Frank, what are you waiting for?
But I haven't approached you like that, right? I more say it in jest.
No, you haven't.
I say it in jest.
No, you haven't said.
I don't even say that.
You haven't.
I almost tell you the opposite sometimes. Let's not even get into that.
Oh gosh, jeez. Ooh, Cece doesn't like you now. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Same with kids. Like, I feel like when they have a kid, that's the next thing. It's like, when you guys have a kid, you always get I want my kid to have something to play with. They're not saying it because they want you to benefit from it.
Selfish.
It's all selfish, right?
But you think, again, it's not in jest. You think there is a underlying, like, hey, join this. Why are you not doing this? You should be doing the right thing.
Again, it depends on the person. If it's, like, many of you will probably disagree with me, but the single people, I think they were more so saying it as in, like, yeah, no, like, you guys have been going for a while. Like, well, why aren't you doing it?
Sure.
Fine.
Right, because if I was, I'd be almost saying it as like, yo, if I was there,
exactly, right?
Sure, okay.
But the ones who are married who have kids, that's why I'm just like, like, you know what I mean? I feel like something's up with you, right?
Yeah.
And
women do that a lot.
It's just funny. It's more funny. It doesn't upset me. It doesn't get anything. Now, like when people ask, like, I'm just like, man, mind your business. Like, that's a joke, right? And my mom, she amped it up, guys. She used to be like more chill, just like, oh yeah, get married when you're ready. And now, like, hey mom, how's it going? You know, I haven't seen you in a week. Yo, you married? Yo, you married? I'm like, oh my gosh, like, oh jeez, like.
Are your other siblings married?
So my sister is not.
Your sister's older than you. You said.
Yeah,
You're the youngest.
I'm the youngest. She's currently doing med school in the States.
Right.
She lives in Atlanta, which is the HIV and gay capital of America.
Why are you mentioning that?
So I don't think she's gonna get shit for quite some time.
Like STD, you mean? Or like
oh man, yo, what's wrong with you?
I don't know why would you mention that?
Oh my god, because you asked if she has. I'm just saying she's not. She's.
But men are walking around with their tests and shit. Like, hey, yo, I'm clean. Look at
I'm
your
just saying that she ain't getting no man anytime soon. Okay.
Okay.
And then my brother, he currently has 6 kids, so 5 girls, 1 boy, with 3 different women.
Okay.
And he's been married either once or twice. No, twice.
Okay.
Yes, he's been married twice, I believe. My brother, he's a touchy subject. My parents, they're
okay.
It's a rough one right now.
Okay.
So yeah, so like all the hope is on me because my mom wants grandkids. She wants them like her own. Because not like my brother's not my mom's, right?
And like you're probably the hope, the last hope.
You know what's funny? Growing up, I was like the one who got in trouble. Me too. My god, my ass got just bear licks all the time. I couldn't say anything. Oh my gosh,
Dennis the Menace.
And then literally, like, pretty much once they saw I graduated, I paid for my own school. I moved out. I'm doing well. Take care of my, like, you know what I mean? I never asked for anything from them. If anything, I'm asking to give. Now they see that, like, oh, Junior's like, you know, you're
carving out.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
as my dad would say, you know yourself.
Yes. As my dad would say. Because no one understands Bluetooth. Anyways, so my mom, I know that my mom, she wants grandkids that are her own, and she loves Cece. My whole family loves Cece. So if any girls listen right now, they're probably like, yo, what are you waiting for? Put her wing on it. All I gotta say is just shut the fuck up. Right?
Whoa. Whoa. Now we gotta make this we gotta put this in a different
this is mature from the time. We're talking about big pump emails, guy. What do you mean? What do you think you're doing with the big pump email? Going to Bible study? No.
I can't even say that.
So anyways, I wanna know
okay.
I wanna know, so you dropped a small line earlier saying you had gal when you were younger. So I wanna know a little more detail.
Like what? Like what do you want to know? You have to ask me specifically.
Okay.
You gotta also remember, like, I'm madly in love with my wife, so I have to answer specific. If you ask me something specific,
this is like the discretionary, like, fine print. Please keep in mind, I am madly in love with my wife. Thank you.
No, but you know, like I.
No. So
well, here.
When I say details, because I'm going to something, I want to go to. Pretty much the final question I was going to ask is at what point? What point did you have that click where you're like, I'm done with these gal. I only want my woman, right?
Right.
And the reason why I didn't go straight to that question, just to set the tone for the audience, is I wanted to get them to understand your environment with regards to how your pool of women work.
So it just felt like
Ramadan. You're just starving. You're like, I need something.
You're messed up. Worse than best. It just felt, I don't know, like I remember specifically we had gone to high school together.
Yeah.
She was probably my closest. There's probably 2. You know, like when you're a guy, you kind of have 2 or 3. I think generally, girls who are your friends.
Yeah.
That you probably didn't do anything. You didn't do anything.
1,000%.
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? And,
dude, I was captain. Okay. I know you're like, I was captain of the basketball team.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, sure.
I was captain of the varsity dance team at university.
Right.
And I had easily, access to, let's say, 40, 50 girls, whatever it was. Now, I'm not saying I could have ran game on all of them. No. But I most definitely could have done some serious collateral damage. But honestly.
Now, that's not what let's look at Sam's comments. I said. Now, hold on. Don't put me in that pool. Don't try to put me in what you're saying.
You just said you had some girls that you were friends with.
Yeah, I said. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Run game. I'm
saying that.
I had a gal. I had 50 gal I gotta talk to. I gotta run through all of them, yo. But I didn't do it because they were my friends. No. I said, Azam said. Specifically, Azam said. Azam said, I had, I think guys who are fair, not just by themselves. I think guys typically kind of have 3 to.
You have like 2 or 3 girls who are like
tight friends, and
they're like your sisters.
Yeah,
you console them, you talk to them, and
and they even like barter situations sometimes with gal you're talking to.
Of course,
like they will barter those situations sometimes, or like whatever. If something was to pop up, we ended up working at Wonderland at like 17 or something like that, and we're during training, and I threw everything I had at her, like I
Super Saiyan destructiveness, died gun, threw everything. Everything. Instant chance. You went Super Saiyan, Kaioken, Blue.
Frank, every time I tell anybody this, it brings me right back to that painful moment where like
your balls
knowing after
it hurts. I understand.
So what Azam is saying is what happened. What happened? Really, literally, there was like 2 weeks of training, and like there was a break or something, and it was like everybody had like a free for all moment, and like
a brothel.
That came out wrong.
Get her! Yo, don't touch that one. That one's big papa pumps. Big papa pump. Pop, 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 pop.
Okay, let me rewind that. Let me walk that back. It was like meaning like
you guys had a brothel at Wonderland.
No,
like that's on the bat. Actually, no. Back then, bat wasn't in existence.
No, bat was there.
Oh yeah, yo,
yeah. Backwards.
There, that was your reverse cowgirl.
So then, what I mean by not by free for all. What I mean by like, it was like you were, like when you're in training, you're kind of in that mode of like trying to learn. But now training was done, and it was kind of like everybody dismissed, and everybody was kind of more looser than usual. And
like you're saying, the gal was loose. Eh?
Jeez. So pretty much, I remember walking. They used to have these shuttle buses that came. I lived like 2 minutes away from Wonderland, mind you.
Yeah.
And so I was walking with a guy friend to the shuttle bus where he was going to get on the bus and then bus back into Toronto.
Yeah.
I get on the bus, and mind you, I have put my arm around my current wife, Saida. I have spit game at her. I have like flirted beyond like I was consciously flirting.
Did you exchange emails though?
You know what? She grew up in Duncanwoods. She probably didn't have access to anything.
Okay, fair enough. Because if you did, you would have lost her. If you did, your kids wouldn't exist. You would not have this wife. I'm telling you right now.
But I got on the bus, man, and she's there beside the next dude, and the guy's got his arm around. I had my arm around her for 2 weeks, and this
two jobs.
I've never seen this man.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Don't do 2 jobs. They're not ready for 2 jobs yet. We gotta work into this.
Where's Damien?
We're not ready for 2 jobs yet. No.
No.
Yo, nothing about woods. Nothing about woods. Nothing about woods. Inside joke.
Oh shit. Okay.
But she's sitting there with this guy who is like, I don't know where this guy. How did he even have the time to do whatever he could do? It's not like we all went to school together. I don't know. I didn't even know who the guy was. And she's sitting in the back, and like I just like, and like it wasn't like I was crushed. I was like, damn. It's like, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. And then we went back to the school year started again. We were still friends. And I didn't, like, continue to pursue. And we met, I think we lost touch here and there. There's a famous story that we tell each other of her promising to meet me at York University, where I went to school, and she never showed up. And so we'll just leave that at that. But
loyalty, people, I told you guys.
And but anyway, yeah, it just felt right, man. It just felt different, and it was literally an immediate stop. It went from like talking to whoever, going wherever and talking to whoever, doing anything with whoever, wherever, didn't matter.
During this time, did you thrive to reignite, or was there a point in time where you said, okay, that's that?
She literally showed up to a barbecue that one of my closest friends was having, and she just randomly said she was gonna come. She came there, and then we probably talked every day since that. Nice. And then I remember like talking to people before that, and like literally just dropping off the face of the planet, probably in those people's eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and even like guy friends too, where like I was chilling every weekend, but now I wasn't chilling every weekend. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And it was just because I'd be on the phone because she didn't go to school here. She went to school like 3 hours away, Western. Okay. And yeah, like I don't know if it's like an old school story where like you just know it's like that the person's the one, and then when if you ask her, she'll probably tell you the same thing.
Nice.
You know, and I just knew, and I don't know, like I've said to people before too that like Saida's the first girl I haven't lied to, and have never cheated on, or like even had these thoughts. A friend of ours comes in our mind, but I don't want to say.
You're gonna have a whole bunch of ex-girls right now message you. What do you mean? You cheated on me? She's the only girl you didn't cheat on me for.
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
hey.
But you know, I have not lied to her to the point where a little lie becomes like, oh my God, you're lying. Mm-hmm. Pretty much like there was a day we were driving and we were going to the movies, and I lied to not make my son get sad. Like he was asking me something, and I said yes to something. I forget what it was now. But I said yes to something. She knew that I was lying. But then she held it and called me on it. And she was like, oh my God, you're lying. I was like, yeah, I'm lying. No, she had asked me a question. But I knowing that my son heard her ask the question, yeah. I lied so he wouldn't get hurt feelings by it. And she called me on it, dude. And it was like something
front of the son?
Yeah, in front of the daughter, in the car going to a movie, right? Pretty much. And if anyone's been in those situations where you have to sit through a movie where you don't talk to the other person that you came there with or your girlfriend, it's
that's
like
the best.
Rude.
But it's like whoa, yeah, what
not
do
like
you
good vibes, but I mean like it's not good vibes where you're just watching the movie. It's like
the best vibes is where just no one is talking to me during the damn movie. This is an ongoing thing that I have with my cousin Devon and my girlfriend Cecilia. She knows. Don't talk to me during the movie.
I have developed into a talker. I used to not be.
There's a few times where I'll be watching IMAX. I'm like, yo, it's a big like 200-foot screen. And then my cousin's like, yo, did you see that? I'm like, what else would I see? Like, I'm looking at the screen. I heard it. I don't need you to punch my shoulder to ask me, did I see that?
You know what?
Now I just missed 2 seconds of whatever I could have seen. Did you see it?
You know what? We probably should never see movies together because you know what my tagline is? Yo, you catch that joke?
Cece calls out the movie like as if it's real. So my cousin, he'll try to hype it up and talk to me. He knows now. Like he knows, just don't talk to me, right? Cece, we'll be watching, like, for example, we'll be watching like Iron Man, right? and or Avengers, and he'll literally fly, and she'll be like, "That's not real."
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. That's rough. That's rough.
And I'm like,
That's rough.
like that. She didn't do that for Iron Man. I'm just giving an example, but I'm like, it's a movie. I know it's not real. It's not a documentary. Like, it's one of those moments where you want to be
I
like,
don't like that. I don't like
you want to
that.
look,
I'm
you want to be like,
yeah,
bitch, but you don't, right? So,
I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. No, I don't like that.
anyways, get back to what we're talking about.
Yeah. I think probably the bigger thing is that because I've wondered this question too. Like, I ask this question anytime I see anybody in a relationship. I think I've bothered you about this before. It was like,
what?
Like, I'm always intrigued on how people kind of sit in that middle area where you're kind of dating, but you don't want to get engaged to someone.
Okay.
Right. But like in your situation, you made a commitment. You guys moved in together.
Yeah.
Right. So that's like almost like a sign of a commitment. You know what I'm trying to say?
It's not almost. It
is
a
a
sign
sign
of commitment. Man's picked
and
up
you've also moved in with her
mother,
mom too.
Yeah. And her dog.
That's another situation. What is dog? Well, I had a conversation with a friend recently, and he was talking about like he can't do anything. Like he can't literally do anything in his house because his girlfriend's dog is just there all the time, and he didn't have a dog before. He literally left. He literally moved out, got his own place.
He can't do anything.
He can't do anything, and like meaning.
Or you
like,
mean he can't do anything without the dog being there?
Both. He can't do anything about the dog being there, and he feels like he can't even take a shit or go to the washroom or have personal time.
Well, I think they must be interlinked because her dog, he follows you everywhere. Cute dog. I actually love the dog. She doesn't believe me. I love the dog. Like Vinny, he's a cool dude, but personality types, not so much. And he just follows you everywhere. Like literally, I can walk 2 feet. And he will take 2 steps to follow me, right? If you leave,
but that's a good thing, no? Is that not a good sign?
No, I don't know.
Like
a stage 20 cleaner. Right? Like sometimes, if I come home from work, from being around everyone, I want to be around no one.
Right.
So like when he's following me, I'm just like, okay, and I'll close the door, and then he'll cry. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah, so see, this is the thing, because my other friend also is going through the similar thing where it's like he can't just be by himself.
Exactly, you can't.
He can't just be by. Interesting.
I never have actual alone time anymore.
Wow.
Right? You know how bad it is? So you, Do
you take the long way home just to have a more?
Never,
time?
No. Because I'm excited to go home and see my girl, or like it's fine if I go home and no one's home. Okay. Like if it's a dog, okay, the dog's not that bad. Where I'm like, yo, damn dog. No, like I'll go home. What I do is if I go to work, when I go to work, I go to work early and I'll sit in the parking lot for a few minutes. But that's also because I'm meditating, just kind of, getting prepped for the day. And also because that's one of the few times where I get actually completely time to myself. No one around, no one watching me, no nothing. And this morning I was going to do that. And then literally as I parked, I sometimes I put my seat back just to kind of take it in.
Yeah, sure.
Knocking on my window. I'm like, who the fuck is this? And my coworker, he just parked right behind me.
Yeah.
And he was coming to knock to see if I want, hey, what's going on?
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you see my lights are off, not even interior's on, why you knock on my window for? What do you think I'm doing? You know what I mean? So then I had to get up and walk out. I'm like, yo, man, this guy just killed my vibe, right away. Anyways, no, so it.
Did you want to?
Moving in commitment is, I was ready to make that. Sorry, it was a little nerve wracking. I never lived with a woman, right? You know what I mean, girl. And
yeah, I assumed by woman you meant girl.
Well, no, because I live with my mom and my sister, right? And
dad, I assumed you didn't mean that.
Anyways, so it's been great, and no, definitely gonna get engaged and married in the whole fiasco. But right now, both of us are focused on other things, right? With regards to getting a house on our own, for example, continuing travel, which costs money, you know what I mean? Developing in our careers, pursuing entrepreneurship. Like we're in our own vibe right now.
So when did you know? Because you also dated.
What? No, when she was the one?
Yeah, like because you dated quite a bit, right?
Yeah, I mean,
and you were part of that generation that used online or no or apps or anything like that?
yeah.
And
Tinder and Plenty of Fish. I was before like Bumble and all that stuff. So really, for me, it was Tinder and Plenty of Fish.
Bumble is the professional version of these things, or something?
No, like
or something like that.
Like Bumble is the one where it's like
Corporate people.
No, I think that one's more like a DTF kind of situation.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like you message the girl and
everybody knows what's up,
and she can choose to reply something like that. And if she replies, it usually means that like something's going down, right?
Right. Okay, I see.
But sorry, I cut you off.
How did you like? Because a reason why I bring that up is because I find that seems to be the way it's going to be. And I do wonder for my son how it's going to be for him. Like, I hope that he has the gift of gab of his dad. But I do wonder if he won't. And it just is the way to find someone of the opposite sex.
So, sorry, so you're asking me how I found Cece?
Yeah, and did you think that and also to probably a two-parter too, like, when you're doing the dating online or using the apps, did you find that to be easier? Did you truly find it to be easier? Did you think that the quality of people you were finding on there were, like, to me, you always strike me as a...
Which one do you want me to answer first?
Answer this one first.
Okay. So I actually I've been asked that many times. So I actually liked Tinder over... I can give you a multi-stage answer and it won't be long. I've been giving all these stories. I like Tinder better than like the Plenty of Fish kind of situations. Plenty of Fish, you had to go and write a whole bio on yourself. You had to put what you like, dislike, and all that stuff. And you're kind of spilling, like you're writing a resume, basically, right? Tinder, I found, was actually more realistic to the real world, right? So if I'm at a bar, if I'm at Wonderland, right? And I see a girl.
Why you look at me like that?
And I see a girl at a bar sitting with her friends, whatever it is. I don't see like a digital holographic pop up telling me what she likes, dislikes, how old she is, if she's a Leo, Pisces, Sagittarius, nothing, right? I just see a girl who I am visually attracted to.
Okay.
I'm like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what do? You go up, you talk to them, and then try to buy them a drink, and then you start asking the questions, getting to know them. Hey, what's your name? Where are you from? How old are you? What do you do in school? Blah, 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 right? The excitement is the discovery. So that's why I liked Tinder better than Plenty of Fish. And actually, I did better on Tinder. I hate the word better, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, okay.
On Tinder than Plenty of Fish. Do you meet quality girls? Yes and no, right? There's going to be the girls and guys who are on there just to fuck around. There's going to be the ones on there who just want the attention. But there's actually the ones on there who tried other avenues. And Tinder is just another one that they want to try to actually find love. I was actually on Tinder to find a girlfriend.
You found Ceci on one of those things or no?
No. That's the second part of the question, man. Didn't get there yet. But no, like I've dated girls on Tinder. Mm-hmm. Some were cool, some weren't. And there's definitely some nice, I've wanted dates with very genuine women on there. And it was like the thing to do, and it was, you use the tool how you want. You can use a wrench to tighten a bolt, or you can use a wrench to smash into a nail. What do you want, right? So I mean, loud analogy, loud it. Okay, just let it go. Don't. I know you want to say something, just let it go.
You know what I'm
So
we get one of those per episode.
Yes. So no, I actually thought, and sorry. So that's what I was going to say. Tinder is actually realistic to the real world, because a lot of times you see someone who you're like, oh, she's attractive. You want to go talk to them. You get up, you build up, get the balls, and you go and you talk to them.
I get what you're saying.
Tinder, you see someone, you swipe it. If you get a like, you talk to them. Just that it's on the digital frontier. It takes away that confidence, that level of risk, because you're just behind a screen, right? So that's the fault of it. But
Do you feel the way I feel about things? Like, and like when I mentioned my son, I wonder what's gonna happen when he gets older. My daughter too. That like, cause there is a grand theme of like this connection that seems to be happening all the time, right? Like when we went to Miami, and like many weeks ago. I think generally the group of us that went are in one of the same kind of guy, in the sense that we will strike up a conversation with male bartender, female bartender, patrons also in the same space as us, and just in that 5 minute you're knowing everyone, and then you just go, right? And it's just I don't think that but I think that happens with people our age. I don't
happens,
see it, you know?
It happens with all ages still. The difference is the outcome, right?
Because the people we end up talking to are people our same age.
Yeah.
And it almost seems it almost seems surprising when you talk to a young person. Like a young, like I forget where we were.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
So
see, I find that it's like it's almost surprising when you talk to someone at like in line to a cashier, and you talk to them, like just talk to them, not talk to them about a product or what.
I think they're delighted. So what I actually, and I still have to answer your question about how I met Cece. I actually I take a note where if someone on the phone, if someone calls me, like a banker or something, right? When they say, "Hello, how are you?" I'm like, most people are like, oh, "I'm good," whatever. I'm like, "How are you?" And a lot of times they're like that. Yes. "Oh, yes." They're like, "Oh, I'm good."
Yeah, there's a pause.
It's not that there's something wrong with it. It's just that people don't do it.
Don't do it. That's what I'm trying to say. But I do think, again, you might be we are different in age. As much as you don't want to think, it is a.
No, I know we're a different age. I'm not old like you. I don't even have grays, dog. I'm just saying we're not. You're not decades older than me, and like.
No, but you see, like someone my age, I would say, online dating and cell phone interaction when I was 25 is different from when you were 25. You know what I mean? Because that's when all this stuff came in. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I was on pay and talk phones, man.
Between the year 2000 and 2005 was one of the greatest boosts in telecommunications. Right? It was a very short span that we went from calling the house phone to texting on the phone. Literally,
right. T9
less than
T9.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I will say this though. I would say, as my personal opinion, it'll be very difficult to fight against the technology, right? Because if you think of it this way, a lot of people.
It's like when you go to a concert, dude. You see everybody's watching through their phone, and like I'm guilty of it.
That's because a lot of people are embracing it, right? Like not.
Yeah, I guess
it's an addiction. A lot of people are
embracing. You don't
even
hear cheers anymore. Like you don't hear somebody would come out. You hear cheers. Like you hear people clapping. You don't even hear clapping because everyone just has their phones out. You don't.
That's because it's yelling now, right?
Yeah. No, but I mean,
but that's why, like Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart, they take your phones, right? But what I was gonna say is, I mean, with relation to the dating world, if you're the one lone wolf trying to find someone in a archaic manner. And I don't mean archaic in a bad way. I simply mean as in is not to the times. It's going to be difficult to find someone because that person you're looking for is online, for example, right? I'm not saying I agree with it, and I'm not saying this is a concrete fact. There are many people who are like, no, I don't want to do the phone. I want to go meet someone. But it's getting harder to match those people with the equivalent, like with, you know what I mean, with a similar person, or at least with someone who's not going to be surprised by it.
How do guys these days
pick up?
No, like view the women they do meet online, because like when you're young, when I was younger, if you knew a girl dated like 2-3 guys, like you can't go down. But if you are all on these platforms, you'd almost assume that she's obviously probably spoken to 10 other, maybe that's an exaggeration, but more than you.
No, it's not. Right?
But
it's not an exaggeration. So I would say this. And then we wrap this up soon, actually. I would say 5 years ago, viewing the way I viewed someone who, like a girl who was online, was normal, because I'm like, sorry, I saw them possibly, sorry, I shouldn't say I saw them. People would view a girl maybe a little more scandalous because it's a newer thing. They didn't understand. It's like, oh, you're on Tinder? Ooh, okay, where did you know what I mean? 5 years ago, saying that you met someone on Tinder versus today saying you met someone on Tinder, completely different reactions. Now, I feel like it's a lot more accepted. It's like, oh, yeah, cool. You know what I mean? And just because that is the way now, right? And yes, if you're talking to someone online, automatically a female, 1,000%, they get tens, if not hundreds of guys talk to them every single day.
I can't imagine what life is like for a woman.
I know, right? Pick and choose, like those vending machines where you just take a claw down. But no, I'm actually, not that I'm against meeting people who meet each other online, but I'm happy that I met Cece real life, genuine. Sorry, it was actually through work. Our last company that we worked with. I was working
I think I've heard you mention this, but I don't know the story.
It's not a crazy story. Actually, no, it's actually a cool story. It's a cute story.
Were you talking to other women at this time? Or dating?
I actually, yes. So I was dating at the time a girl who I met on Tinder, actually. And she shall not be named. I'm going to air people out. But Cece
you still communicate with her?
No.
Oh.
Cece, like I have it on Instagram.
Yo, let me ask you something before you go on with this.
Jeez, this guy just keeps cutting up pure answers. I can't. All right, yeah, go. Yeah.
No, like, is there more to it than the dating part? Like, have you met someone online ever and just you guys still remain friends?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yes. One was my realtor for a little time.
Okay.
But then she kind of sucked, so I stopped using her. Hopefully she doesn't hear this. And then one, she actually became an entrepreneur, and we're actually friends. Like, she does stuff, and I'll comment online. I'll be like, or like message her. I'll be like, yo, that's sick. Like, tell me about this product you just did, whatever.
See, that changes my perspective a bit on this.
And then a next one, when we broke up, she broke up with me, and we were cool. And then she went on this like life searching thing, like going to Africa and
Find
stuff.
yourself kind of thing.
Yeah, so we don't really talk because I'm like, well, like there's very, of all my exes, I think there's only one who I like. There's zero communication. Everybody else, we're actually all cool. I'm a nice, fun guy.
Kawaii over here.
But yeah, with Cece, before I forget,
I won't cut you off.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, so she was dating someone at the time. I was dating someone at the time. She started when we started work. Yeah, she was dating someone. I was dating someone, and we were just work friends. Like over time, we, you know how it is. You naturally flirt with people who you like, right?
Don't throw me. Listen, stop throwing me into your.
What do you mean? I say you know how it is. I say you know how it is.
Don't know how it is.
Oh my gosh, this guy's lying. You lying to me? Okay.
Oh no.
So anyway, we joke around like
I purposely, when I work places, don't talk to women.
That's your business. That means that you have something you can't control.
I'm joking.
Your boss comes in your eyes in.
Nope. Email. Only email.
This guy's just blowing his whistle. I need an adult. I need a male. No, so we were just joking around. Like I typed up like a poem for her, but it was like not like a I love you poem. It was like a diss poem, to be honest with you. It was funny. She still has it. And then like we transitioned to we would always go out for lunch with each other, right?
Okay.
But it was like groups. We had a little group,
yeah, sure.
like
the
young people.
You'd be the subgroup. You two are the subgroup.
No. We were just a group of people, like the young ones. Okay. We go out for lunch. Okay. And then the same young ones, we started going out to parties, like to a club, right? And as a observer, I actually realized that a lot of times she sought, and I did too, we sought each other's approval during laughter. Laughter is one of the number one significations or signals to determine.
You're dropping a lot of knowledge here. So
how someone vibes towards you, right?
Yeah, sure.
So put it this way: if you're in a group,
for sure, yeah.
If you're in a group of people, let's say you're in a perfect circle,
yes,
and someone tells a joke,
yeah,
naturally, you can try to check it next time, but naturally, you laugh towards the person who you're trying to seek attention from, right? Or who you're trying to impress. Okay. Go to the corporate world. If you're in a group with your boss there, if your boss says a joke, what does everybody do? They laugh towards the boss because they're trying to seek approval, right? So I found that was happening a lot. Like we catch each other's eyes, or we'd be laughing with each other, whatever it is. And what happened was, you know how the story is really, what happened? We were supposed to go to a bar, Peacock Lounge, or Peacock Bar, or whatever, downtown Toronto. It's definitely an underground, like slightly dungy place, but they had good music. You knew some people there. So
Peacock Lounge.
Sorry, the previous times we gone out before, we kept it professional. So we went to Drake on Queen Street, and I wanted to dance with her.
Like you two?
No, in your group. Always with a group. I wanted to dance with her
never at any time did your significant others clash or meet. You didn't meet her boyfriend or...
No, I never met her boyfriend.
Okay.
And she never met my girlfriend. She knew about her, but she never met her.
Got it.
Right? Got it. And that year, summer of Frank, Cece couldn't make it because she was back home in Bulgaria. She's Bulgarian. And so my girlfriend was at the party at the time. Like that? I like that she's Bulgarian. I think she's special. Like Bulgarian. Like not short yellow bus special. Like I just like Bulgaria. I went there. It was really a beautiful country.
Go ahead.
But we all went out, and I always wanted to dance with her so bad. But I'm like, he's a professional. You got to keep it cool, whatever. And so one time, finally, we were all supposed to go out. And it just so happened, everyone else bailed. They couldn't make it. So in my mind, like, I'm home, like, just Birdman, who's just rubbing my hands together. Just like, okay, we can go out together, right? And so we were messaging, and she was like, so do you still want to go out? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. Let's go. Like, of course. So it's just the two of us for the first time we went out.
That's pretty interesting happenstance that could happen.
Yeah, right? Yeah. So the two of us went out and we went, had a great time, drank, just danced. Nothing happened. Nothing. Just had a genuinely, good time. And she slept over. Nothing happened. I was like, yeah, sleep over. And this was my line. I was like, you can take the bed. Of course, you're the lady. But I always sleep in my bed in my own house. And I hid all the blankets so she didn't have nothing for the couch. I'm joking. I didn't do that. But I did say that. So then, we slept and...
wow. And wait, hold on. No, hold on. So what is the circumstance that...
I feel like you're about to poke fun at me. All right, I'm ready for it.
So how could that? When did that conversation first happen?
What conversation?
So you have a girlfriend. She has a boyfriend.
No. Oh, sorry.
You missed the whole.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I skipped. No, we both broke up with our things.
Carry on.
I'm sorry. Because I was telling you how how we actually got together, but no. During such time where we were just chilling, my girl broke up with me. It was like September.
So when she did break up, so when that breakup happened, did you feel ways about it?
I'm an emotional guy. Especially the way it happened. It was tough, guy.
Which is how? Like she cheated on you?
It was like, I'm not going to air them out. So, because, friends know her. So it was just bad. It was bad. Okay. And yeah, so legit.
But then she broke up with you. You even though you're kind of looking at Ceci.
No. Okay, so here's the thing. Love it's a development, right? So you're okay. This guy's smirking already. He's smirking already. Hear me out. Okay.
I haven't heard this guy say love twice in my whole life.
What do you mean?
And that's
because we're always talking to a group about strippiness, right? Okay. Fine. You want?
Go on. No,
I didn't know you wanted this.
On,
okay. No.
Okay.
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
While I was with my girl, and I met Cecilia, she was a coworker, right? And I wasn't like horny, like, oh my gosh, I need this girl. No, she just had such a sweet personality, and at work we had a small clique. So literally, we were just all just in a group, just chill, like we were cool, right? Now, I did notice, like I said before, like when we're laughing or whatever, we sought approval of each other as time went on, right? but that was by no means immediate. Okay. And at the same time, though, if you be real, in this huge world of 7 billion people, whatever it is, you have your girl, you have your man. That doesn't mean that, when you're at work or when you're out with your people, you have a group of friends. It doesn't mean that you don't have close friends. Like you said, girls or friends who
sure.
you have a mutual attraction, but you don't do anything. Because obviously you have your girl. It's just like...
You're not even looking at
cool.
it that
exactly.
way.
I'm not looking at it that way. Like if I have my girl, I have my girl. That's it. So yeah, all that happened. But me and my girl, like at the time, we were 100. Like it was just her and me, right?
Got it.
Well, to my eyes. And there's a little hint. Ba-ba. And then Cece had her man.
No names.
No names. So Cece had her man. And then, anyways, both of them just ended up dipping out of our lives, which is for the best.
I'm with you now. I'm with you.
And then that's where things got more natural with me and Cece, more comfortable because we were both single. And she's not a cheater. I'm not a cheater. So we were cool. And then, so we had that night out. And then literally from that night on, we just elevated exponentially to become best friends. And the cliche ride or dies, right? She's been with me for everything, thick and thin. She supports me, everything I think. But more importantly, what are you laughing at? I'm giving like a Y&R sermon right here. This guy's laughing, eh? Is this the kind of podcast this is, guy? This guy's talking about, seeing his wife on a bus with the next man's arm around. I'm like, oh man, true shit. I feel ya. I hear ya, bro. Right? And I'm here spitting real truth, and this guy's laughing at me. What are you laughing at? What are you laughing at? No, I'm not going nowhere. What are you laughing at?
There's a point where you turned it into a profession of love segment.
What do you mean?
Like it wasn't you were talking. You weren't telling me. You were telling her. Like she's here. Like you did that, and not me.
Yo, this cast is done. That's it. That's how we met. We're cool. Whatever. Shut up. This was a good time. It's a good time. Don't know.
But now it's 4 years, right?
No, I said this was a good time. Like this podcast.
No,
like
but
it's over, guy. Okay, I'm joking.
No, but you've been with, this is gonna be 4 years.
It's been over 4 years. October 17th was 4 years.
Wow.
But she was in Miami for a bachelor party, so we couldn't celebrate. So we're doing it this weekend coming up.
Got it. You got anything else written on that pad there?
I'm not saying anything else to you. Nothing.
So that's it. Is it a wrap on episode 1?
This was good. It was a nice long discussion. For first episode, I know we were all over the map, but it was. I like that it's raw content. It's just listen to whatever you want, take from whatever you want.
Listen, man, it's called a coming of age for
blatant messages, hidden messages, whatever you want. So that's what's up.
Blatant and hidden. You're pretty direct. I wouldn't probably say anything.
Yeah, that's why you're the hidden one. You're like
your professional.
Azam didn't say this. Hey, Azam does not agree with that.
Hey, listen. You try to group me into your 40 gal attempted orgy or whatever you're trying to.
Dude, you're the one who said you guys. What was he say? You let loose in Wonderland.
Guys, let loose. Whoa! I did not say that.
You said.
I did not say.
You literally said you were like, what was it? Oh, you saw Santa. You're thinking. No. Then you guys.
I said that there at the end of the training, everyone like I was gonna say frolicked. I don't know why frolicked came to my head.
Because I said you didn't say frolicked.
No, obviously I didn't say frolicked.
You said
but I said like like everybody was free. It was like a
no. You said a word. I was just like, you guys let it go, let loose or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, you guys had a brothel at Wonderland, is what you had.
I didn't choose the best words there, no. But hey, I have an email.
You have an email?
Should we put the email out?
Yeah, throw it up.
Here, look.
What do you mean you have an
There's
email?
There's an email, Gmail, and if anybody has like questions or comments for me and Frank, ever.
Oh, yeah.
You can hit us up. There's an email that has been created.
A Camingo Phage.
Did I spell it wrong?
No, it just looks like it's like a foreign word.
Yeah.
A coming of age .thepodcast@gmail.com.
Very nice.
One more time. Let me say it in a little more serious voice.
Say it like you're talking to Ceci and you're professing your love to her.
I'm not gonna fall for that trap. I'm not gonna fall for it. So I'm just gonna say a coming of age .thepodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up if you have any comments, queries, if you just want to tell us your own story, or just hit us up saying what up. It's all good. Just show some love or some hate. You take whatever you want to dish out at us. We big men.
That's it. We out.
Chucky.